Okay, so I've got my sunflower ready to go. I did go in and I erased all the little lines. This is an awesome eraser. It's a teeny tiny little, built like a mechanical pencil. You can, if you do a search for drafting eraser, you'll find this kind of thing, and it's great for getting into these tiny little areas without, you don't want one of those great big square things. And then after you've erased everything, this is another really great little tool to have if you're going to do much of this. It's just a soft little brush that you can get rid of all those little eraser crumbs and not smear your drawing around if you did that with your hand. So this is great. Couple bucks at a art supply store. They might even have this kind of thing at like a Home Depot where the paint supplies are. So there you go for that. So now we're going to move on, and I'm going to do these next 3 little areas, and I'm going to do 3 different flowers, just the blooms. Again, we're kind of showing this as maybe you went to a botanical garden that day, but you're not really feeling up to painting an enormous landscape garden scene. This is a nice way to pull out some of the details of your day and help you remember them. Surely, most of us walk around those beautiful gardens taking pictures of the flowers, so you probably had a few that were your favorites. So I'll show you real quickly. The next one I'm going to draw is this guy right here because I really like that bright color. And again, simple shapes, right? So I'm going to put him here in the middle, I've decided. And since this is a round shape again, what I'm going to do first actually is give myself a boundary. I'm going to just real lightly draw a circle. And this isn't the flower itself. This is basically the boundary that I'm going to keep the flower inside of. Often when I draw something, if I were to just start to draw this flower, I'd probably start here. I'd draw a petal, and by the time I got over here, I would have realized, like, I made this first one too big, and now this, it's going to run into here. This way, it gives me a guideline of this is where that flower is going to fit into. So this flower has a little splotchety kind of thing in the center, so I'm just going to do some squiggly lines for that. And then he's got petals that are just wide, and they come into this little narrow thing, and then there's a notch in the end, and it goes back out, and it comes in to a narrow little point. That's it. That's all these petals are. So then the next one is, I'm going to kind of mark out the base of each petal again to kind of give myself a guideline. There's one that comes out from behind the center, and there's one that goes here. This is just a 5-petaled flower. So this one goes out. I take it out to my guideline, and it's got this kind of little tip, and it goes in and back out. And since I've already marked this, I know this is where it's coming from. And there we go. Almost like a heart shape, isn't it? These petals are very simple. Here we go. Out. Now it's not going to hurt you, and it might not be a bad idea to break your boundary just a little bit. Maybe with one of them here, because this particular one in my picture is a little bit longer. I'll just take him out there. And then this one comes from behind, really comes right up alongside of there. And I'm also kind of drawing this exactly how I see it, but you can see these are simple shapes. You could make it up. You could draw 5 petals that are roughly about these shaped, and it'll look great. And everyone will, if you knew flowers, everyone would know what kind of flower it was. This thing says it's a common mallow. I love my gardens, but I don't have this one. I don't know anything about this particular flower. So the other thing now with this boundary I've given myself, I've kept it from running into my sunflower over here, so it can be its own space. and not disrupt my little composition that I've got going. That's it. That's it. Now, if you wanted to, you could add a leaf here. I see that this thing has kind of like a pointy little, I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't work, I can erase it, right? Kind of like a little, almost like a fleur-de-lis shaped leaf. Maybe comes out a little bit more. And this one actually goes down like that. Fine, so we'll go that. And that way we've added a little something more. Okay, so again, what we did with that sunflower, here's my little square. Maybe I'll pull him out a little bit more. The flower bloom is breaking over the boundary of the square, and so is the leaf. I'm going to paint color into these squares to give them little backgrounds, and I think it's going to look nice. I'm going to try this. So that's it. There's our flower. And I'm going to go in now. I'm going to erase this boundary line that I made, and I'm going to erase all the extra lines here, and then we'll go on to the next one.